usual, catching up with you at another conference. If it's not at your place, it's my place, or it's a conference.
Right.
So this is a super conference. This is a Surgical Disruptive Summit. And why do you come to this conference? And you sit on the board with me.
Yes.
So both, what the question?
First, when I was invited to the board, I was honored because this isn't just a conference. I mean, the physicians that are here, the industry people that are here, this is one of those that you really talk about what's happening in surgery, what's going to happen in surgery. It's not what happened yesterday. It's not what's been happening forever. It's where we're going. And Dr. Wilson puts on a great show. He's so well respected amongst his peers. But when you sit here and you have the banter and the panels and the discussion amongst peers in the industry, amongst key surgeons from around the world that sit here and they can go back and forth because they respect each other, so they can give honest feedback and honest opinions, say, hey, I don't necessarily agree, or I do agree. I think it's one of the best conferences around because of that.
Yeah, and you chaired a couple of the conversations today, and you presented. So where are we with Active right now? You've had a great run to right now, and you're out raising some money, right?
Yes, we're starting our B round, and it's exciting. You're always raising money, as I learned. The biggest difference from a big company to small is, one, you're speaking to the board or shareholders or investment meetings. Here it's, hey, let's go out and make sure that people know that we're out here, we have real technology.
What are you going to do with that money?
Well, basically, we're moving from a FDA cleared product in Q4 of this year, which is very exciting. But with that comes all of the work to, once you're cleared, your go-to-market strategy, your commercialization, your global regulatory pathway. So I'm going global with this technology as early as we can because it's a simple technology to use, and the physicians are asking, bring this everywhere. It fits on everyone's scope, on everyone's system. We can go start collecting the data that we're going to need. That's one. Number two, we'll have 2 more products over the next 18 months, or 2 more iterations through the FDA as well. So with that, you have all the verification and validation, you have all your design freeze and your clinical trials and all the work that needs to be done. So there's money to be spent, but for the right reasons. So basically it's R&D and team, and then we'll start building the people and bringing on the skill sets that we need now to grow out the organization to go build and scale.
The surgeons who have seen that, what have they told you, or what are they screaming for that the Active site provides?
Well, it sounds simple. It wasn't, remember, Active didn't start because we can show you blood flow. But when you realize that the 3rd leading cause of death in the world is preventable medical errors, and 26% of preventable medical errors are preventable surgical errors. And you have regular procedures that if you can't see blood flow, such as anastomotic leaks, 15% of colorectal colectomy patients have an anastomotic leak. 15% of those patients, unfortunately, pass away. It's preventable. An anastomotic leak can be prevented or substantially reduced if you can see blood flow. And if you can see blood flow adequately right in the case, right before you leave, not just left side leak, but right side leak. And if you have that opportunity to see blood flow visually, if you use a dye of some sort, you don't have that option. So all of a sudden, Active Site has opened up so many opportunities. Vascular beds after gastrectomies, the opportunity to see critical structures, a ureter identification after a hysterectomy, common bile duct identification after the critical view of safety after a regular lap chole. These are routine procedures. The top 4 most routine laparoscopic procedures, before I even touch a robot, laparoscopic procedures, lap chole, hysterectomy, colectomy, gastrectomy, 6.6 million patients are being done every year in the world right now. That's a market to go, that you need to know critical structure identification and blood flow. Okay, all of a sudden it's put it on the tee, we just got to go hit it now, right?
And you're stack agnostic, and really no change to workflow.
No, none at all. I mean, we're basically a technology that fits right in between your camera and your scope on any system that's out there laparoscopically, and then we can work with the robotic companies, and that would be something that we work with them on a co-development.
But you're not tied to robotics. You're in just any manual surgery, any robotic surgery.
The vision and the big picture. Every patient that goes into surgery, whether they go into surgery at Mass General, New York Hospital, whether they're doing tons of them, or a small hospital in the middle of Iowa, should have the trust that their doctor has the same visual data on every case to provide the best treatment possible. And right now that's not happening. So all of a sudden, I'm not tied to I'm tied to surgical imaging systems. If I was building a scope, if I was building a robot, and I had the cure for cancer, Joe, I could go get 5 to 7% of the market over the next 4 or 5 years. Wow. If I have a device that basically can work with every system that's out there, That's your chance to be in 100% of surgical imaging and visualization systems. I'm not saying that's where we're going, but we have to have the opportunity to make sure what we can provide is going to really benefit patients and outcomes of preventable surgical errors that are occurring. So, and that's just the start. And then we move for our data play. Every single procedure that we do, the surgical data goes to the cloud. It's then getting annotated clinically by surgeons, by researchers in clinical, actual real people doing real annotation. We'll have the largest annotated surgical video set anywhere in 2020, this year. And once we have that, all of a sudden now I'm going to be showing you and delivering it, and be showing you in that deliverance critical structures, tissue characterization, lymph nodes, the opportunity to demonstrate these things in real time. There's a lot of companies
So
that
it's a
have
real-time, on-board surgical intelligence right there for the surgeon.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of data out there. So if I was asked the question, well, why wouldn't I just go Google or IBM? They have data. I said, how do you deliver it? We have a form factor that not only gives you the data, but actually delivers first order of measure of benefit to the patient right now. I'm going to show you blood flow, but oh, by the way, we're going to take that, and next time you use that, and next time you use that, you're going to now see these critical structures because you have a spot to use it. It's almost like the Fitbit model. Fitbit did not set out to sell watches. It's an app-based healthcare system. You need the watch as your conduit to give you your heartbeat and how many steps you took. But it's basically what you get from the outcome of that. And it's the same thing with active site.
Well, thanks for sharing this story, and I'm going to stay tuned. Big year coming up for you across the board for everything.
Oh yeah, it's exciting, and thanks for your help. You guys do a great job for us, and we really count on you.
Always. Thanks.
So thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All
man.
right.